capital. Where's the money come from, and what will you be doing with it?
Thank you. We have raised money from the institutional investors, venture capitalist funds who are based in the Middle East, primarily out of Saudi Arabia, and some of the other strategic investors from various family offices. Primarily, the money will be used towards deploying and building of the talent base, technology, and beefing up of our operations in the geographies that we are already present, which is Saudi, UAE, and Pakistan, whilst continuing to serve another 12 to 13 countries in the Middle East.
You mentioned the expansion into Pakistan last year. How has that been? Have you seen significant growth there?
It has been fantastic. I think, during the pandemic, when everyone was trying to hunker down, we made a big, bold bet, and the results are showing. We have expanded across Pakistan. We are present pan-Pakistan, and we have been serving hundreds of corporate clients there. So we are very happy with our decision. The business continues to grow. I think the logistics market is so huge when you look at it from the numbers perspective that, there's a lot of room for us to grow at the moment, yes.
Give us an insight, if you can, Janardan, and you're a man who knows what it is to search for funding, to search for seed funding, and of course extra funding throughout. Has it been tougher during the times of the pandemic or not?
Look, raising capital is never easy, I would say. Investors look at various aspects when deploying the capital, which has become more true, which has become more cautious in terms of how they deploy, even before pandemic and during the pandemic, yes, because many companies had to repurpose their existence. They had to pivot. They had to prove their ability to survive through the crisis, or their ability to not only survive but frankly show the agility which is required as you go across as you cruise through the economy and different economic cycles. So absolutely, I think we proved that agility in our business model. We showed how resilient logistics is, and that's how we raised the capital.
So just how resilient is logistics at the moment? Let's sort of dive into the market. Obviously, we've seen all industries affected by the pandemic. However, there has been more pressure and need on the logistics market. Have we seen a significant growth in logistics in recent times?
Look, when we look at how resilient logistics has been, you have to rewind a few months back, or in the middle of the last year, when you would remember when the passenger traffic was almost down to zero. The trucks or the on-road transportation were absolutely moving, because that kept the real pandemic away. It kept the shelves stocked, kept the supply chain running, industrial goods moving, and that kind of proves the resilience of the importance of moving goods around across the borders, within the borders, and really keep the economy running. So from our perspective, yes, there was challenges. There were lockdowns, there were certain road restrictions, movements, etc. But when you look at the logistics as a sector holistically, it was an extremely important part of the overall economy, and which kept things running.
We've spoken a lot, and possibly we're in the wrong here to a certain degree. There's been a big focus on air freight during the pandemic and getting essential goods from A to B. Do we spend enough time honouring but also recognising the importance of road transport and road freight, especially here in the region?
Absolutely. I look at it from a multimodal transportation point of view, because whatever needs to be moved on the air at some point also has to be transported on the ground. So even if it's landing at the Dubai World Central or Dubai Airport, it ultimately again needs to be transported from the airport to the end destination. And so when you look at sea, air, land, these are all kind of connected, and they all service and fulfill the overall requirement of the logistics when we look at it from the global perspective.
We've seen the growth of the brand, and that goes with a lot of hard work from yourself and your team, Janardan. But we've seen the growth of the company since your launch back in 2016, 2017, when we became aware of Trukkin. With the opportunity of hindsight now, what do you think has set yourself apart? Has it been an element of, reinventing the wheel when it comes to transport?
Well, so there's not a single, the secret sauce here. There's a multiple things which has to go right to run the business. We launched the business back in 2017. I think our agility, the right teams, the culture in the organization, our, razor sharp focus towards the business and servicing our customers and clients equally, figuring out how do we service our transporters, creating that whole ecosystem. So all the way, making the right bets and investments into technology, making right bets into picking the right geographical locations, hiring the right talent, building the right culture, and also, frankly, having a lot of agility. I keep on going and talking about agility because this is really, this kind of shows how to adapt to different environment needs. I mean, we are coming out of probably one of the worst, crisis in the last century, if I were to think of COVID. And, frankly, the companies who have shown their flexibility to adapt to different requirements or different times have kind of come out. And I think all these things have worked on our favor. We have kept a very sharp focus on that, and hopefully that's working.
Certainly is working with the investors. High praise from a number of the investors that have come on board with you in this latest round, and more so than the GP at MCAM Capital, I guess, and Alushban, who has been very full of praise. So just give us an insight of what's in the pipeline for the rest of 2021 and 2022. More of the same?
We'll continue to expand. We'll continue to invest in the geographies. We have a lot of room to grow. I think when we look at our market presence in the next couple of years, we would be across Pan, Middle East, we'll be in Pakistan. We might grow beyond that. North Africa is wide open in terms of our growth. We have a fantastic set of investors who have joined us. So we are very excited about what's about to come. We think we're just going to get started.
Just getting started, just getting Trukkin. Quite right, too. Keep trucking. To you, Janardan Dalmia, the founder and the CEO of Trukkin, thank you so much indeed for your time. Congratulations again on the latest investment, $7 million, equating to about 26 million Saudi riyals in the latest Series A funding round. So well done to the team down there. Right, we move from logistics to what else is coming up in the rest of the show.